Hello, it's Ryan from 2minutetennis.net, and in this video, I'm going to show you how Roger Federer hits a topspin forehand, and specifically how his leg drive increases the amount of topspin he can hit. Please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Even share this video with a friend, as those are the best ways to support this channel. Now in a second here, I am going to show you real footage of Roger Federer, courtesy of Essential Tennis. Be sure to check the link below. Give those guys a sub. If you're not following Essential Tennis, you're just not following the biggest and best account on YouTube for tennis instruction. So I've got the Topspin Pro here. I am an affiliate. This thing is an awesome product. Check out my Topspin Pro affiliate link below to pick one up. If you're a coach, a parent, a player, you need to get a Topspin Pro. So the leg use. There's been a conversation on social media. Specifically, I've seen it on Instagram about whether the legs help you to hit topspin. And there's basically two trains of thought. And that's the idea that you're supposed to use your legs to get topspin, or that topspin is more in the hand and the arm. Well, I'm going to tell you kind of that it's both. And I'm going to use proof with video footage of Federer hitting a forehand. But let's talk about this. This is all about the kinetic chain. When you look at the pros, when they hit the most amount of topspin, they can get that ball really spinning. Just prior to contact, they are lifting with their body. So they're driving, they bend their knees, right? They turn high with both hands, they drop the racket down below contact, they close the racket face so they can hit topspin and brush up. But what they do is they lift up with their body, and then right before contact, they stop lifting. Well, that energy from their body now transfers into the arm and then accelerates the racket. I've seen videos where coaches have said, leg use is not going to add topspin. How fast can I lift my legs? And I completely agree with that notion. Except that doesn't mean that leg use doesn't add to topspin. What you want is to be done with the leg drive prior to contact. Again, I'm going to show you this with a video of Federer here in about 30 seconds. But what you're about to see with Federer is he turns high, drops his body down, and then he starts lifting his body, and then right before contact, he stops. And that stoppage is a reactive break, and the racket accelerates and actually finishes above his head. Let's get right to that footage. Again, this footage is courtesy of Essential Tennis. Let's check it out right now. This video illustrates perfectly what I'm talking about when it comes to the leg drive and leg use of a Federer forehand. So this is a massive forehand that he's hitting, ripping the ball with topspin. What I want to do is draw a straight line at the point where his head is the lowest. So there's the straight line. Now, he is going to push up off the ground. And you can see his body rising. But I want you to notice when he gets to the top of that leg drive. So now his head is there. So his head has gone from the first line I drew to the second line. But now his leg drive has stopped. His right leg is completely straight, and he's pushed up off the ground. He's going up off the ground. Now, there's nothing left to do with his body, and now his arm accelerates. And in fact, he finishes up above his head like Nadal. I don't want you to think of staying down when you hit a forehand for topspin. And you'll hear that, stay down, stay down. If you're looking for maximum topspin and really looking to arc this ball and get tons of spin, pulling that ball down into the court, try bending your knees as the racket begins to drop and then pushing up off the ground hard and going from your lowest point, where that's what Vic Braden calls sitting in a chair, or like resting on a stool where you're down. And then you're pushing up off the ground. You can see right there his head. Look at the top of his head. His head is no longer lifting. So the leg drive is done. But that kinetic energy has to go somewhere. It transfers into his arm, and his arm accelerates. And again, notice how high he finishes. Swinging low to high is definitely going to give you more topspin, but use your legs Don't feel like keeping your body still is going to give you topspin. Lift up and try to be done with your leg drive prior to contact, and you will rip the cover off the ball. Now to illustrate this, let's use sparkling water, right? So I've got cans of sparkling water, and I'm just gonna open this first one. I'm not gonna shake it, I'm not gonna do anything, I'm just going to pop it. Got it, right? It doesn't spill out, nothing happens, okay? Next, I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna shake it, right? So it's a full can. Oh man. So here we go, right? I'm shaking this up, and I'm going to explain why I'm doing this. I'm not going to do anything to it. Neither one of those did anything. When I popped it without shaking it, nothing happened. When I shook it but didn't pop it, nothing happened. But if I shake this a ton, my wife's going to kill me. And then I pop it, no, I'm not going to do it. Why? You were really excited. Why? Because you knew what was going to happen. See, if you combine the two, you get the most explosion. It's the same idea. I got you, didn't I? I fooled you. So that's the difference between just using your arm to hit the ball and thinking of just using your legs. The coaches I've seen and very smart coaches who I respect greatly, the ones who have talked about that the leg use doesn't have anything to do with the arm and hitting the ball are just talking about the leg use in isolation. That's like saying cracking open a water, like a sparkling water, doesn't create a splash, and shaking it doesn't create a splash. Well, you want it to be both, right? So you want to use the leg drive, which is shaking up the can, and then you want to uncork it. So use your leg drive, push up, but be done with the upward swing, the upward drive of your body before you hit the ball. So try to get your legs straight by the time you hit. When you are done, the energy goes somewhere and it goes into your arm and you get a ton of topspin. Use your legs on your topspin forehand, just like Roger Federer. And there's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.